Okay, this is Nancy, and today I want to talk about how to fail really big in real estate to become successful in real estate. So, when you try to learn one thing new, you're not very good at it when you start, okay? Real estate's no different than that. You learn how to play golf, you're not good at it when you start. You're going to fail. You're going to swing the club and you're going to miss the ball. A lot of times I know because I tried to learn. And so that's what happens. That's what happens is you have to fail and you fail more and more and more. And then you can't do that without making a lot of calls. So you fail a lot and then you adjust. Okay, I'm going to try something different this time. Or I'm going to go back and learn a couple of really good scripts. And then I'm going to go try to fail some more. So you go out, set it in your mind that I'm gonna fail 100 times today. I'm gonna fail 100 times. I'm gonna dial that number or that phone with different numbers 100 times. So if I'm gonna fail, I'm gonna fail big. Okay, that's what you do in real estate to get better. You can read books, you can listen to tapes, you can go to seminars, but until you put yourself into action, the action of selling real estate or finding leads in some active way, you're going to fail anyway. So why not fail by doing it instead of fail by not doing it? Because if you continue to do it, you're going to get better. You go back and you learn some more scripts. You study a little bit more. You write down some things, and then you go do it again. Same thing with door knocking. Same thing with open houses. So if I did one open house a week and it didn't work. Well, do 5 a week. Fail big, fail bigger. Put yourself into action. Just go out every day and try to fail as big as you possibly can. Come back at night, count how many times you failed, because you can't become successful in real estate without a whole bunch of failure. That's the truth. You got to put what you're learning into action. We see sometimes in real estate people that don't want to take action until they know everything about everything. And what happens is they get paralyzed and they get overwhelmed with information and they don't go out and fail. I love it when people go out and fail day after day and then they come back and say, okay, what can I do differently? They ask themselves. And the world is so full of so much information on the internet now. You can look and see what you're doing wrong and go out. You can go try it again until you get better at it. You can do calls, you can do door knocking, you can do mailings. I did a mailing, it didn't work. How many did you mail? Well, I mailed 100. Okay, well, this lady over here's mailing 1,400, and she's getting a listing every time she mails it out. So how big do you want to fail? And I know that costs money. I know that doing a lot of mailings and doing a lot of advertising in print media does cost a lot of money. So I would say be frugal in your failure where that's concerned, but also get with somebody who knows what they're doing to help you establish what you're going to mail out the first time so that you do have success. The second place I want to talk about today, the second thing that I see agents not practicing and failing at is their scripts. So if you knock on a lot of doors or you make a whole lot of calls and you don't know what to say, then you're not going to make progress as fast. But you can't learn it strictly by role playing with other people and then be dynamite on the phone. You can't do it without going on a listing presentation and not getting that listing. And as I said before in a different video, getting in your car and saying, oh, I know what I should have said. You have to grow through the process. So grow through the process of doing those things. At least you went on a listing appointment. Some people are so afraid to even go on a listing appointment. Be as prepared as you can before you go, but don't over prepare. Tell yourself, I've got a great chance of getting this listing. I'm going to get this listing. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be on time. I'm going to show my best foot forward. I'm going to look presentable. I'm going to ask a lot of great questions. And you know what's so cool is we used to have to learn scripts that said everything. Now we learn scripts that are simply questions. And the seller starts talking to us or the buyer starts talking to us. And now there's a two-way conversation going and they're doing most of the talking. So you can just sit back and really, really listen. It's actually easier that way. So memorize 5 questions, go on listing appointments, or make calls, ask 5 questions, and see how well you can do with that. It's like on the job training. It's not classroom training. You can only take so much classroom training for communication skills. You can read about it, but read as you do. Learn as you do it. Don't try to learn it all and then just go do it all, because you'll never do it. You got to learn how to start by taking action the very first day. One of the biggest mistakes I made as a new agent was not feeling big enough the first year. I wish I'd have failed so much bigger than I did, because I didn't try enough. I didn't talk to enough people. I didn't mess up enough because I was afraid of making mistakes. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. It's just words coming out of your mouth. It's just questions coming out of your mouth. I haven't seen anybody get injured from it yet. So just do it. That's the thing that stops most people, is they think, well, I have to know every model. I have to know every floor plan. I have to know every answer to every question they may ask. I have to know everything about everything, and you don't. You don't need to know everything about everything. You need to know how to fill out a contract, and you can fill it out before you get there. If you're having open houses, you can have a contract ready that's all filled out except for the buyer's name and a couple of other things. You go on a listing appointment, you've got all your paperwork filled out ahead of time, but don't fear the paperwork. Don't fear asking the question once you've been there a little while, do you want to go ahead and get started? Do you want to go ahead and make an offer on this house? Don't be afraid. There's no wrong way to ask that question. The only wrong thing is not to ask the question. So if you feel like the conversation's headed that way, go ahead and make the mistake of asking the question. Make the mistake of doing that and see what they say, because a lot of times they could actually say yes. There's only a couple of answers they can give you. I want to think it over, no or yes, right? So what's the big deal? What's the big deal? If you don't ask the question, they might wonder why you didn't. I've had for sale by owners tell me before, where are all the realtors? I thought realtors were going to call on me when I put my house up for sale by owner. I've only heard from 2. Because we all think, so we don't do it, we all think that everybody's calling on them. And in this market, more people are probably calling on them. But honestly, we get in our mind that calling for sale by owners or expireds, well, everybody's already doing that and they know how to do it better than I do, so I'm not going to do it. Don't do that to yourself, because your perception, the perception of what people are thinking is not always the reality. As a matter of fact, a lot of times it's not. We just simply are talking ourselves out of taking action and making mistakes and failing. So the more mistakes you make, the more attempts you make, the bigger you're going to fail and the bigger you're going to succeed in the long run, because it's practice. It's on-the-job practice. Now, a surgeon can't do on-the-job practice, but you can. So it's not going to hurt anybody. And somebody's going to do business with you when you do it if you call on enough people. So don't wait till you know everything. Just go ahead and do it. My best advice for today, go out and fail as big as you possibly can every single day until you become successful in real estate. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.